YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host TKK and we are back with another video, guys. Hopefully everybody is doing good. Me, I'm for sure good. And today we got an interesting topic, man. We're gonna actually dial things back and talk about Sony. I really didn't want to speak much about Sony because there's not a model out that they've officially announced a release date for, which for me is going to be the Alpha 95 Legend. Yes, the A95L. That's going to be the 2023 quantum dot that's going to come in 55, 65, 77. I'm not sure the size I'm going to be getting yet, but I'm very much so excited about that TV. So this is my first time speaking on it. However, we're talking about the king from last year, the A95K from Sony. That TV has apparently, with many other models from 2022 and some 21, got a gaming update. I think this is really exciting news. And so what I've done was I've disconnected the TV from the base and pulled it back out of storage and into my living room. Now I've got the TV set where the 77-inch C1 has been located. If you remember, the C1 is now in front of the desk. That's to the right of me, so I'm pointing to you guys. But the A95 King is down in the house. And so I'm going to go ahead and take you guys on this small journey where I'm going to be getting this TV updated. Now, I have not updated the TV, so I pretty much, for better choice of words, have an earlier iteration of its firmware on the TV. We're going to take a look at this new option because it does offer some things I think we might be looking at, sort of a preview, a sneak peek, if you will, of what they're going to offer with the A95L. I know that it's supposed to have some kind of picture-in-picture dual source type, sorcery going on, which I think is going to make for a great gaming experience for people that are content creating and streaming, having like a 27-inch within a smaller or larger panel size for you to be able to do 4K gaming while having another source, such as like your Twitch stream, something like that. I think it's going to be really good if you're using it like I am, where I have one monitor as my main driver, or one TV, if you will. In any event, I'm going to switch the camera. We're going to pan over and actually take a look at the camera. We'll get some commentary there, and then we'll finish off back at the desk. Be right back. All right, guys. So this is the A95K. I've got this TV in 65-inch. We've owned it, covered tons of content, vlogging, debating, answering questions, and just kind of showing the TV, since its infancy, pretty much since day one that it was really out. I picked it up. And it's as recent as last week or 2 weeks ago, we compared it to the G3, which I no longer have, if you followed yesterday's vlog. As you can see right here, I am actually lacking the latest update from March 23. So I actually, just kind of clicked update and wanted to check and see what they had possible. But this TV has a cool feature where they actually talk to you about like what updates or what's like what the update will entail. So I think that's a pretty dope concept for you to be able to buy into it or not. I do have my TV set to notify me if there are updates. And so basically it's been a bedroom TV. I watched some content. The TV's just looked great from the jump, and it's looked good enough to be even compared to G3, and I thought this TV looked better for gaming and for just like film. That was just my opinion, but hey. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to go into the actual settings and just kind of take a look at like what the latest update has to offer. All right, so in order to pull that up, you're going to go to settings. You're going to scroll down to system. When you get to system, you're going to go over to about. Once you get to about, you're going to go over to system software update. And so here we pretty much can take a look and see, what options you have. Again, I have automatically check for update. The cool thing about this feature is it'll notify you, but it won't necessarily download whatever it is. So if you go to check for software update, it's going to search for whatever the latest opportunity is. So this right here, boom, kind of lets us know, what's new with whatever the latest update is. And, this puts us in a good place. So it tells us what's new with the update. You can review what is updated and other info about the TV, etc. You can actually go to update. So they make this, I like the way this is set up. Like this is note to like every manufacturer, they've got a lot of blockers put in place so that you don't update by accident. You can close out here, you can update, or you can just check what's new. So we go to check what's new. This is actually telling us. So the first screen that I showed you on the TV was 3/23. So I've actually got more updates. The latest is 6/23, which we're in June 23rd. You know, this adds game feature. That's the top thing right there. Adds the Eco Dash feature, adds voice command support for Alexa and play content selection, removes some rarely used voice commands, and just overall, you know, general performance is great. So the biggest thing that I'm looking at is like the game menu feature. I'm interested in seeing what we're going to have there. Before we get this update going, let me kind of show you what I've got that we're going to hook up for this video. We're going to be using this gaming PC. It's hooked up to the 45-inch LG OLED monitor, right? It's where I edit the content and such. Lady Hera gets busy in here. We're going to be, you know, using this. This has a 12900K i9 with an RTX 4090 graphics card. It's in a height case. I'll card in that content if you're interested in seeing that. We haven't really changed much in these builds since that video where I featured and reviewed both of these cases. I kind of got them both taken care of around the same time. But I'm going to set this thing right under the TV. You know, it's kind of how I had it and how I have it on the desk, but it's going to go back on the floor for this video. I love the design of this case because although it pulls air up, the power supply is actually up high. So no PCs will be harmed in this video. Let's get to the update. All right, we got the height case down there doing its thing. Got that powered up. Go ahead and fire this update up. Get this thing going. We'll be right back as soon as this 100%. All right, so I wanted to vlog with you guys just a little bit while the TV is updating. So as I edit this and render it, the timestamps will be there and it'll be all in chronological order as the content is actually happening. I like to spend this time while the update is going just to talk about, you know, some of my wish lists with the A95L. You know, the TV, number one, I would like to see, in my opinion, QHD needs to be there, like for the gaming space, especially the PC gaming space. I feel like at this point, and who knows what this updates will encompass, I don't know. I haven't watched any other content. I believe it came out today or yesterday or the day before. And so, you know, I read about it on Twitter from B the Installer, which I hope that next time B the Installer makes a widespread post, he tags TKK like he has the other guys. But I'm joking because I don't really know him. I know the Tech with KG and Classy and the other guys. But anyway, you know, PC game support would definitely be helpful. You know, how exactly the picture-in-picture feature will work, I'm not sure. But on larger screens, if you have the ability to kind of, you know, they say 27 inches is like the number that they were putting out there. So I feel like it's just going to kind of be locked. But if there's like an overlay of some kind, I think that would be really dope. Some way for you to still be able to take advantage of like the screen real estate of what's going on the screen. I don't know if it's just going to be like blacked out and you just got two screens that are 27-inch or what. But I think having an overlay would be really, really great. It's just wish list stuff. So that plus, like I said, the QHD implementation, you know, it just hasn't worked really well for PC gamers. I'd like to see some serious support for widescreen functionality, as well as like, you know, a nice game bar, you know, with some realistic frame rate counting happening. If this update gives us that, I might have to dive into the console to see, because on the LG, when you do the frame rate counter, you're not able to actually count realistic frames as they happen on the game. With PC, you can essentially go from 1 to 120 or whatever it might be, if that makes any sense. But those are just some things that, you know, me personally, I would like to see on the A95L. I'm not sure if that'll happen, but I think this is a really great thing that, you know, Sony is modernizing their TVs from 2021 and 2022. You know, we spent great money on these TVs, and, you know, this definitely adds life and longevity to what they're offering. So this puts them in a game. This puts them in a really good conversation that they're focusing and factoring gaming stuff into play. As you can see, the gaming piece is the top of the list of new updates. You know, when you look at like what's new with this latest update from June 23, I'm excited. So I'm going to go ahead and end this rant and we will get to the download. So see you guys in the next camera in 1 second. All right, so the update is golden on my TV, all in, coming from wherever the update is that I had to here was about a 10-minute or so process. Once it was done, the TV, you know, turned off itself, turned it on. It did its illumination of telling me it was a Sony when I cut it on, and here we are. We're here met with Bravia updated privacy policy. You know, and it says, you know, completed the software update. Please confirm how Sony Corp can use TV data. So we'll get past this. I'm not sure what kind of information will be shown, but I'll click past this and then we'll come right back. So it didn't look like it was anything too crazy. It tells us what's new from March 1st. Of course, like I said, I didn't get that update. You know, these are all the different things from all these different time frames. Speaking to other TVs too, because this does go back for some 20, you know, different models and such. I don't know. So this is really just encompassing like all these different, you know, panels and such like that, I guess. So we got that. We're going to agree to all and then go to the next step. Panel is checking for updates. For all I know, I could have needed to update it the first, you know, whatever was prior to get to the next one. So we're just kind of doing this live. Yep. All right. So it kind of comes on, you know, I've set the TV to game mode and I have my PC on here. And it tells us, you know, press the 1, 2, 3 button to use game settings and game assist features. If you're not familiar with the Sony remote, the 1, 2, 3 is going to be under the settings, which is under the power. So there's a look at this remote. By the way, I love this remote. I feel like they have the best remote out of, you know, kind of the big three. You know, they don't have any wand type of technology, but, you know, it works great. It feels great. It's backlit and I like it. So we'll hit to close that. Nice bright picture here. A lot brighter than the ISO that I am allowing with my camera. So let me just auto that just to make sure we good there. All right, great. So gonna go ahead and hit that 3, 2, 1 button. All right, so this gives us an option to immediately turn on, like, you know, VRR. So that's pretty awesome. Also tells us down left that we're operating in a resolution 3840 by 2160, which is 4K. And it tells us that we're in SDR. So I don't have high dynamic range turned on with Windows. But the VRR tells us that we have that on. You can enable it or disable it. You know, either of those opportunities are possible for you. You know, next option, you got the crosshair. You can turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. That does pop on. Might be hard to see because it's kind of right next to the tree. Let me just get close and kind of point that out. It's right here in the middle. So turn it off, turn it on. It's there. Then you have a different type of crosshair. So you can make it red, green. You can make it a white dot, make it a red dot, make it a green dot. So you have those 3 color opportunities there. So that's kind of what that is telling us. Let me get some PC settings going here real quick. All right, so right now with the NVIDIA control panel, the TV is by default set at the 4K TV space. So 60 Hertz is all you can get. From there to 23 Hertz. I've covered that on many of different videos. We want to take it down to the PC space here. We'll do that and we immediately have 100 Hertz or 120 Hertz there as an opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and put that as an option. Yes, so we have that there. And now we've got that nice butter smooth 120. So we've got, so we've got VRR there. All right, so great. When you turn VRR on, you know, it does let us know that the TV went from 60 Hertz to 100 or from 120 to 60. Turning VRR off took the TV back to 60 Hertz, which the TV is telling me that, and I can see that too. I'm not sure why that's a thing. So enabling it, it's butter smooth. Let me just see that I have that 120 Hertz still active. I can feel it, but yeah, so yeah, that's still active. You know, there's no way for you to see like your frame rates. If that was something that, you know, was requested, I think that should be kind of a standard staple. Both Samsung and LG both provide that. So that doesn't appear to be an option for you to like lively be able to just see a frame rate. Let me play around with this. Yeah, holding it doesn't do anything. Let me take a look at getting high dynamic range active. Okay, so now I've enabled HDR. through Windows. I've turned that on. It's added more brightness, more pop to this. This camera that I'm using is not a high dynamic range camera, so no expectations there. But when I do hit the game bar, it does tell us now that we do have HDR active, and it goes even further. It tells us it's high dynamic range 10. So if I were playing a game that had, Dolby Vision functionality, I guess that would be an opportunity. That would be something there. So this is pretty welcome. It would have been nice if this would have rolled out last year. I'm going to dive in deeper, see if we have some more functionality within what this is. But as the crosshair, that's cool. Personally, I wouldn't use it, but that's a great option. Being able to access VRR, just without you having to go into deep settings, and then being able to see like what your frame rate is. This thing doesn't tell you like what your refresh rate is, which I'm totally clueless as to why that's not an option. I feel like that's a big missed opportunity here. I'm going to go to some settings though, just to make sure that this isn't the gist of what this offers us. Yeah, I can't find any other hidden gaming features, but here's a look at the Eco dashboard. These are great features, being able to turn these functionalities on and off. All really nice, welcome features, definitely. But they're, I don't know, man. I'm gonna get to the desk so we can talk a little bit more and wrap this video up. All right, I could be blindly missing some content that they've got. I'm sure this is a trending enough topic where, you can browse around on YouTube and see some other people possibly talking about this as it stands. It's a new feature and, nice. You can't really complain. I think this is a great quality of life update, but I think there's a missed opportunity definitely without the frame rate counter being there. But it does breathe some new light into, people that might adopt this TV or who may have had this TV or other TVs, like the A90J, just quality TVs that were purchased that just came out without features that, were definitely relevant and needed. Keep it in mind, the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5 consoles came out 2020, right? C9 came out 2019, right? That TV came out a full year and a half before we had next generation consoles and graphics cards that took advantage of 4K 2.1 HDMI, right? So, features like variable refresh rate, things like that. LG had this stuff on lock a full year and a half before that, because Sony always comes out with their TVs later. And then when the A90J came out, obviously in 21, it still lacked some features. But it's nice that they, got some of this stuff around. I feel like personally, hopefully with the A95L, a frame rate counter and then the QHD support needs to be there. There's just some bugs within QHD when trying to do some PC stuff. It might be fixed now. I don't know. I didn't think to check it within this video. It's not really worth talking about, but I already put it in the wish list portion of this. If you happen to skim through, you can check back and see earlier transitions. So let me know what you guys think. Like I said, a quality of life upgrade. I can't really complain. I mean, picture quality on the A95K specifically for me, because a lot of people aren't going to cover this TV. They don't have the TV right now, but this is the one that I have that they did the update on. So I'm glad that they are at least, I won't say listening, but at least being thoughtful enough to push forward some stuff with the new TVs coming. I do expect to see more out of the A95L. It seems that like the picture-in-picture, with the 27-inch 4K screen is definitely a gamer feature. If you can somehow customize an overlay for that, man, that's going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. I'm just waiting to see what else they're bringing to the forefront, but I think it's a great thing that, they are being conscious of the gamer and, trying to produce something for that, because everybody's not looking for a damn movie room TV, right? And like I said, let me know what you guys think. I'm going to catch you on the next video. Peace, God bless, and as I always say, man, max love.